Welcome to the Boomer's Guide to a Vibrant Life with Vicki Washburn. Vicki and her guests will share their journey of the golden years and how they're creating a vibrant life. Topics will include family, fun, life, love, travel, and everything Boomer. You too can have the best of your vibrant life now. We are broadcasting from Global Voice Radio every week, and now here's your host, Vicki Washburn.
Hello, everyone. This is Vicki Washburn with the Boomer's Guide to a Vibrant Life. Now, last week we spoke about some foods that could help with our gut health, and that ultimately helps to keep our brain healthy and sharper. And today I want to share with you some foods that can help boost your immune system. Now, as we age, this is something that we've got to be very cognizant of. And, you know, the media and doctors and everybody really push the flu shot, especially once we're over 65, to help keep us from getting the flu. But really, there's a lot of things that you can do just by eating different foods that can just help strengthen your immune system so that it can naturally fight off whatever comes along. And so I'm going to share with you some of those foods today. Now, we've all heard of vitamin C, and we know that vitamin C is a nutrient that is always touted as an immune booster, and it fights off antioxidants, or it works as an antioxidant and just helps to fight off free radicals. Now, one of the important things that vitamin C does for us is it helps us to absorb iron better, and iron boosts our immune system. So vitamin C is important. There are a lot of things you can get vitamin C from besides citrus fruits. There are lots and lots of vegetables that are high in vitamin C. I'm not a big citrus eater. I cannot drink orange juice, it's just too sweet for me. So I get my vitamin C from other sources. I use essential oils in my drink, which I can use citrus oils. And so those will give me a little vitamin C kick. You can also use vitamin C powder, which is, I do that sometimes to mix in smoothies, or I use it to make facial creams and things like that. Anyway, you can get vitamin C from a lot of sources. So some of the foods that are really good for our immune system, the first one I want to tell you about is jalapeno peppers. Any kind of peppers, really. Cayenne peppers or cayenne peppers, however you say it. All kinds of peppers can really boost your immune system. There is a 2015 study found that people who frequently ate spicy peppers lived longer than those who ate them less often. I'm not a spicy pepper eater myself. In fact, I don't like peppers of any kind. I do use them in cooking. I do eat salsa some. So I won't say that I never eat them, but I don't purposely do them myself, except in things like that. And I like them light. I have friends who eat them by the handfuls, and I'm sure that they will live forever. You can add diced jalapenos to guacamole, which I know a lot of people do, to salsa. You can use it in your salads, on hamburgers, just slice them fresh, eat them pickled, put them on pizza, whatever. There are a lot of ways that people use jalapenos. And jalapenos get their spice from a compound known as capsaicin, which we all have heard of, I'm sure, which is something of an all-star in the nutrition world. Capsaicin acts as an anti-inflammatory agent and may ease arthritis symptoms. Some research suggests that it keeps your metabolism humming too. I know people who do the master cleanse put cayenne pepper in with maple syrup and water, and that's all they drink for 2 or 3 days, and that's called the master cleanse. Oh, and it has lemon in it, which transitions to our next immune boosting food. And this is one of my favorites. Lemons is something that I use a lot of. Lemons and limes are the two citruses that I use a lot of. I put them in my water almost every day, a whole lemon in my water, and I use them to cook with on fish, salmon, all kinds of stuff. They're great to make fresh salad dressings with, a little bit of coconut oil, a little bit of lemon, a little bit of apple cider vinegar, which is also good for your immune system, and whatever seasonings you want in it. Makes a great salad dressing, or just squeezing lemon on your salad and then adding the spices with no oil at all. Lemons are high in compounds called bioflavonoids, which kill cancer-causing free radicals. They also provide vitamin C, and you can meet half your daily requirement from one lemon. So adding lemon juice to your meals is an easy strategy for protecting yourself against colds and other infections. And if you eat lemons on a regular basis, it's really going to boost your immune system. The next thing is something you probably wouldn't think would be very good for your immune system, but believe it or not, it is. And that is sunflower seeds. Sunflower seeds are high in healthy fats, which help regulate blood sugar levels and keep markers for heart disease like blood pressure in check. They're great to eat in salads, yogurts, parfaits. They add extra nutrition while giving you a little crunch. Read the label because some of them are loaded with salt. And you know, salt really isn't that bad for you as long as it's not iodized salt. You want to use a Himalayan sea salt or a Celtic salt because those are loaded with minerals and are not processed. Sunflower seeds are high in vitamin E, which acts as an antioxidant in the body, lowering inflammation and keeping the immune system healthy. Their high amount of fiber can also keep the digestion regular and keep people full longer. And again, our digestion, our gut is not only linked to our brain, it is linked to our immune system. So it's imperative that we keep our gut healthy. Probiotics, probiotic food, prebiotic food, all those things we talked about last week. You know, you don't have to do them all, just do a few. Incorporate some of these things into your daily diet or your weekly diet, and over time, it's just going to help to nourish your body and make it stronger and healthier. A lot of times as we age, our nutrition goes in the trash. We eat whatever is quick and easy because most of us are alone, so we don't cook a lot because we're not cooking for anybody but ourselves. So it might be, you know, a piece of toast and some tea, or a piece of bologna on a sandwich, a half a sandwich, you know, and that's just not very nutritionally good for us. And over time, it can leave our body weak and depleted. So the next one is one we should all know because we've all heard an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Well, apples, you know, they're just a good thing to have every day. Just to eat an apple every day is a good thing. If you don't eat them every day, that's fine. Eat them whenever you can. Again, put them in your diet and use them as often as you can. People who eat an apple a day use fewer prescription medications, according to a 2015 study. And regular apple eaters report fewer asthma symptoms, according to British research. A flavonoid called kaolin may open up airways, and that is found in apples. Apples are also high in fiber, which can help reduce inflammation that's common during infections. And guess what? They're a prebiotic. They feed the probiotic. That fiber and the sugars in the apples help to feed the good bacteria. They're a superfood when it comes to satiety. So they'll help you feel more satisfied. It's something sweet without being heavy, and won't spike blood sugars as much as something like a cookie would. So you can get your sweet and still stay healthy. So one of the things that I always do when anybody in my family is sick is I make homemade chicken noodle soup. And my husband used to always say that he was just sure that my chicken noodle soup cured him. Now, I don't know if he was just kidding me or what, but chicken noodle soup is actually one of those things that is very good to boost your immune system. It has a lot of good vegetables in it usually, and the chicken broth is good for you. The chicken bone broth, if you make the broth yourself from whole chickens, which includes the bones, it has a lot of, it'll have a lot of bone broth in it, the gelatin that comes from the bones, and that is so good for your gut. It will help heal your gut, which again, keeps your immune system stronger. So chicken soup, everything in it is good for you, except maybe the noodles, but they're not bad for you. So, but the chicken broth, the celery, the garlic, the carrots, the onions, all of those things are good for you. And it turns out that this herbal remedy has some science behind it. Chicken soup helps soothe cold symptoms, likely because the warm broth thins nasal mucus so it can clear more easily. Soup in general hydrates, making it a smart meal. And like I said, the broth, the bone broth in the broth will help to heal your gut. Another one that is so good, another food that is so good for you, and it is one of my favorites, is called an acorn squash. And if you have never eaten an acorn squash, you are missing out. They are yummy. They're kind of like a butternut squash, kind of like a sweet potato. They're just really good, real orangish yellow flesh, and so easy to prepare. You just cut them in half, take the seeds out. I put butter in the middle, wipe the middle where I've taken the seeds out with butter, wipe around the edges with butter. I don't peel it or anything. I put Italian seasoning and garlic. Just pour tons of Italian seasoning and garlic on it. Stick it in the oven, bake it until it's soft. When you take it out, you mix all that up with the butter and the seasoning. The flesh gets soft and it's just filling and yummy and so good. You only have to bake it for about 45 minutes at 375. And when you can poke a knife in it or a fork easily, you know it's done. It's known as a winter squash. It seems it's high in vitamin C as well as vitamin A. It's one of those foods that I can eat instead of potatoes because it's just that good and it's filling. It helps with your vision. It's a key role in maintaining a strong immune system and reproductive health. So acorn squash, if you haven't tried it, get some. This gave you a great recipe. And you don't have to use Italian seasoning. You can use any seasoning you like. Just put lots of it in there because you're going to have a lot of flesh there. One acorn squash will feed 2 people usually. Now, garlic. We talked about garlic some last week. Garlic is so good for your immune system. It is just packed full of germ fighters. And I know people who take garlic and make a juice, kind of a garlic juice out of it, and drink that when they're sick. And they swear by it. It's an immunity booster. You can add it to everything from marinades to vegetables to grain bowls to rice bowls to, you can use garlic for everything. Roasted garlic is one of my favorite things. Pickled garlic. I know a vendor that makes the best pickled garlic I've ever eaten. I can eat a jar of it a day. I love it. They say that garlic scent tips you off to its many health benefits. The pungent aroma comes from the sulfur compounds, including allicin. Scientists believe that allicin may block enzymes involved in infections. Some studies suggest that swallowing garlic may ward off colds. We used to hear it warded off vampires, but it wards off colds too. It can be the easiest to eat garlic cooked with other foods, although some people can stomach eating a bit like a pill, followed with milk or water. If the little clove is small enough, you could probably swallow it whole. I prefer to use it to cook with, or just to eat pickled garlic, like I said. Research has also linked garlic intake to a lower risk of stomach, colon, and esophageal cancers. Just one of those superfoods that we can use every day. Oysters is another thing that is very good for your immune system. If you eat oysters with a dash of horseradish or lemon for extra flavor, contrary to what you may have heard, oysters are safe to eat year-round. These tempting mollusks net you some often in short supply nutrients, B12, which keeps you energized, zinc, which bolsters your immune response in fighting off bacteria and viruses, and selenium and iron, crucial for cellular health. Oysters have many benefits, but alas, there's no proof that they boost your libido. So they will boost your immune system. They may not boost anything else. Sweet potatoes. Most of us know how to fix sweet potatoes. I personally just like them with just baked like a potato and put butter and salt and pepper on them and eat them like that. I'm not a fan of the sweet marshmallow and brown sugar like most people have at Thanksgiving. It's just a little bit too sweet for me. One of the reasons that you make these root vegetables a cold and flu season staple is that they are packed with antioxidant called glutathione that may help the body fight infections. Plus, beta-carotene can power up your infection-fighting T cell system, and just keep it strong. Vitamin A in sweet potatoes helps protect the skin from UV damage. So again, it's one of those great foods to just eat whenever you can. Plus, it's high in fiber. It's better to eat than regular potatoes because it's not going to spike your blood sugar as high as regular potatoes would. High in fiber, just really, really good for you. Grapefruit is another one. You know, we know about the citrus fruits, grapefruit, oranges, those kind of things. Grapefruit can be eaten lots of different ways. Somebody once told me that you could broil grapefruit with a little cinnamon sugar on it. Never heard of doing that. That sounds like it might be kind of good. Half a grapefruit has more than 60% of your daily vitamin C content, and eating grapefruit may also help the body absorb other essential nutrients such as iron. People who regularly consume foods containing vitamin C may have slightly shorter colds and milder symptoms. Next one is one of my favorite foods on the planet, and I try to eat a teaspoon of it a day, and that is honey. You can put honey in your tea or your coffee. You can drizzle it on your oatmeal or your toast. Eating honey is one of those things that is just so good for you. If you struggle with allergies, get some local honey and eat a teaspoon of it every single day, and you will most likely see your allergy symptoms be reduced. You're slowly introducing the local pollen through the honey to your system, and that just naturally makes it less reactive to the pollen that causes you to have asthma or causes you to have an asthmatic reaction. It may also help reduce your allergies. It's long been used as a natural remedy for sore throats. Since its antibacterial and anti-inflammatory properties help to soothe and coat your throat. Research also suggests that it eases nighttime coughs in kids. They do say you should never give honey to infants because of the risk of botulism due to their immune systems being not matured yet. So if they're not little bitty, you can give them honey. Honey and elderberry, those are two really great things to give when you're struggling with a cold. Ginger. Ginger is another one. You can put ginger on just about anything. It's not just to be eaten with Chinese food. Ginger is great to add to teas, to salads, anything you want to add a little kick to. It can be a little spicy, like hot spicy. It can also just be a little sharp, like lemon spicy. Ginger which is sometimes recommended to treat nausea, is high in both antioxidants and anti-inflammatory properties. A recent review of 60 studies found that ginger might have beneficial effects on ailments like obesity, heart disease, and diabetes. It also contains immune system supporting compounds like beta-carotene and capsaicin. Capsaicin is what makes it spicy. I love ginger. I especially love pickled ginger like you get when you go to the sushi bar. But I like to just keep it on hand and grate it into salads or even into smoothies. Edamame is another thing that's very good for your immune system. And the edamame, if you've never heard of it or if you've never tried it, is just soybeans. It's just boiled soybeans before they've been shelled. And you just pop the little soybean out of it, and that's what you eat. You add some salt and pepper. Some places add lime. They're just good to eat. They're good to add to meals. They are high in protein. There's some studies that think that they may ease inflammation. One cooked cup, 8 grams, contains 8 grams of anti-inflammatory fiber and a dose of magnesium, which helps the body break down sugars, lowering the risk for insulin resistance. Now, you do need to be careful because a lot of the soy in the U.S., they say is GMO'd. So just, be cognizant of that when you're shopping. Turmeric. Now, turmeric is one of those foods that has just really become popular in the last few years. And in the US, it probably wasn't that commonly used. In other countries, such as India and a lot of the Asian countries and African countries, it's used all the time to make curries and all kinds of dishes that are common in those areas. As those foods have become common here, turmeric has become more popular. Turmeric is popular for a good reason. The root contains a molecule called curcumin that not only gives it its golden color, but also helps block inflammation associated with disease. Researchers are still studying how strong the effects of turmeric are in humans. Now, I think, I'm not 100% sure about this, but I think there's some medications that are made using turmeric. And they tell you not to use it if you're on this medication. So that's something you need to be aware of. The next thing is carrots. Carrots, anything that is colored, red, orange, those colors have beta carotene in them. And that is, as I've said before, is very good for your immune system. Carrots come in all different colors. They're full of antioxidants. They have lycopene and beta carotene, which are thought to help the immune system and combat certain cancers. The body turns beta carotene into vitamin A, which we all need on a daily basis. Carrots can be put into your diet a lot of ways. If you like carrots, right now the farmers markets just have awesome ones. They're just beautiful and flavorful and yummy. Sage can be made into a tea, which is an ancient remedy for sore throats, cough, and colds. One Swiss study found that using sage with other herbs like echinacea can help relieve throat irritation. You can mix sage into your favorite meals, an omelet with goat cheese. It's just good, and it's an easy plant to grow in your garden. So you can have sage at your fingertips all the time. Grows great in a pot, grows great in the ground in most climates. Chamomile tea. Chamomile tea is another one of those good things for your immune system. Dried chamomile flowers have been used for hundreds of years, and there's some research suggesting that the tea helps an upset stomach. The flowers contain compounds called flavonoids that may help reduce inflammation and pain. So are you getting kind of a hint here? There's a couple of things, flavonoids and capsaicin and curcumin. Vegetables with those things in them are the immune powerhouses. We talked about grapefruit, oranges, lemons, limes. Those are all good because they have high vitamin C. A single orange gives you 85% of your vitamin C daily recommended dose. It's important to get enough vitamin C before you get sick, not just when you're feeling under the weather. If you get enough before you get sick, you may not get sick. The white pith and the peel of an orange is a good source of flavonoid molecule called hesperidin. I don't know if I can say this. Hesperidin. I don't know. I can't say it. Hesperidian. Anyway, I probably didn't say that right. So you guys can look that up. Another good herb is fennel, which fennel is very much like dill. Fennel is not something I was familiar with until probably in my 40s. And a friend introduced me to it, and now I love it. And I have recommended it for a lot of different things to people. One of the old wives' tales is good for helping breastfeeding mothers to increase their milk supply. If you have a cold, a little fennel is your friend. Inside this licorice-flavored vegetable are compounds that may help loosen chest mucus and soothe a sore throat. Fennel is also a good source of potassium, essential in regulating the fluid balance in your body so you don't get dehydrated. Fennel is one of those things that you can use as a seasoning. It's got feathery little leaf type things, kind of like dill. You can also eat the bulb and the stems. And I love eating just the bulb. It's kind of like, I don't know, I like eating cabbage, the core of the cabbage. And this is just really flavorful and good. Just bake it like you would anything else, and it's good to eat. Cranberries are also good for your immune system, whether you eat them just as the fruit or drink the juice. People are still trying to figure out whether cranberry juice really helps to prevent or treat urinary tract infections, but recent studies are suggesting that they may lower the amount of bacteria in a woman's urine. Still, the nutrients of these berries support immune system health and can curb the risk of heart disease. So cranberries. So those are some great foods that you can add to your diet. They're simple to add. You don't have to eat them all every day. You just need to get some of them every week. And that's the thing, is just to pick some foods to add in every week. You have, if you eat 2 meals a day, you have 14 opportunities a week to add some of these foods into your diet. And if you do that on a regular basis over the long term, it's just going to help your system to be stronger, so that when you are exposed to those little germs in the wintertime and in the summertime, you will just be able to battle them easier on your own. So that's everything that I have for you today on your immune system. I hope that you have found this beneficial. And next week we will talk about some cancer fighting foods. And I hope that you all have a vibrant week. If you want to follow me, you can follow me on My Life Redesigned, or on Facebook, or you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Coach Vicki Wash. My website is vickywashburn.com. I have a new program that I am putting together with a friend called Suddenly 60. If you are interested in learning more about Suddenly 60, you can message me on Facebook through My Life Redesigned, and we will get you on the list to be notified when we get everything put together. It's going to be a great program about how to still have purpose, how to find your purpose, and to live with purpose all the days of your life. This is not the time of our life to sit down and just wait for life to be over. This is the time of our life to soar, to run, to learn, to grow, to become more spiritually aware than any time in our life. And we're going to be putting a program together that I think will be beneficial to all of you. If you want more information about that, like I said, you can reach out to me on Facebook at My Life Redesigned, and you can also reach me through my Facebook page or through my website, VickiWashburn.com. Be blessed. Have a vibrant week.
Host of The Boomer's Guide to a Vibrant Life. Connect with Vicki at www.globalvoiceradio.com. Tune in next week for another edition of The Boomer's Guide to a Vibrant Life on Global Voice Radio, where your message and your voices are heard.